Okay, so a while back I did a review on the Xbox 360 Voyee controller. Basically, this is a controller that is a lot like the official Xbox 360 controller, but it's a third-party controller, and a lot of people, they've been looking for controllers for their Xbox 360s, especially since Microsoft stopped making official controllers anymore. Now, you can find some Xbox 360 controllers on eBay and even find them sealed, but they're going up higher and higher in price. And so a lot of people, they're looking for a cheap alternative to keep playing on their Xbox. And I gave this a pretty glowing review back when I reviewed it. I had a couple of issues with it, but I thought for the money and for what you're getting, it was pretty decent. But to this day, I still get a lot of questions on that video on certain aspects of the controller, like, hey, how's the thumbsticks? Hey, is this really a good controller for a 360? And I did have one person say, hey, could you do a comparison of this controller with an original Xbox 360 controller? And initially I wanted to say no, but then I thought, you know what? Actually, I think there might be some differences worth checking out, especially since I think I noticed some differences in the thumbsticks, and that could be a huge deciding factor for some of you. So, today, we are going to compare an original Xbox 360 controller with the Voyee Xbox 360 third-party controller. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's go over the obvious differences first. And that comes to the big issue with this controller on the two problems I had last time. So, last time, one of my big issues was the home button. The light is far brighter than on an original 360 official controller. The light of that is like a lime green. It's still bright, but it's not as piercing as the hard, dark green light that just is super bright on this third-party controller. Now, if you're playing in the daylight, it's not going to be that distracting, but if you're in a dark room, it's going to really get you in the eye. So just keep that in mind. If you have a piece of tape over this, I wouldn't be surprised. The other thing is with the face buds. With this, the face buds are incredibly loud. Whereas on the actual official controller, they're not as loud, they're not as loose, as they don't have quite that click. I'm not even pressing them down, they just have a higher like clicking sound than on the official controller. Now, is this a deal breaker? Not for me personally. Someone more sensitive to like sound or just more OCD, yeah, you're going to want to get an original controller, okay? Just hands down. But now let's go into a test, shall we, of my 360 system with this newer controller and see how the aiming is on a newer controller compared with the original Xbox 360 controller. Okay, so how we're going to do this is I'm going to be sitting right here in front of the camera while I'm controlling the screen with the controller up so you can kind of see it. It won't be the best video quality as showing you in-game footage, but I want to show you that I'm in fact using the controller with said game. And the game we're going to be testing today is Aliens Colonial Marines. Now, I know a lot of people hate this game, but this game has kind of rough aiming, and I think it might be rough because of the aftermarket controller. So I'm going to try aiming in this game with the aftermarket controller and the original Xbox controller, and I'm going to do that on video for you to test out. Okay, so I got the game booted up, got the controller here. As you can see, it is the third-party Voyee controller. I have a decal skin on it, but yeah, so let's begin. And by the way, if you don't know, these controllers pair exactly like the original classic controller. These things are kind of 360 original controls in everything but name only. So that is one positive. Actually, I think you just resume. Let's turn the volume down because you don't need to hear it. You just need to hear me. Okay. Okay, so I'm having some difficulty. It's not quite precise. I have to, yeah, really having to fight the aiming on this. There we go. Yeah, so I am having some trouble with precise aiming. Now this could be the game, okay? I want to be straight up with that right now. This could be an issue with the game. Like, I can't quite get the reticle on that guy. There we go. Okay. So, let's see if the original Xbox controller has the same problem. Okay, so we've paired the original Xbox 360 controller. Now, let's start that over again and see if we have the same aiming issue with the official Xbox controller. I don't know, that seemed a little smoother. That seemed a little less problematic. Oh, I missed there. Yeah, I just died. Let's switch back to the aftermarket controller. Maybe I just got good. Yeah. Let's try this again with the aftermarket controller. Okay, so back here. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing. Yeah, I'm definitely noticing a bit of an issue with the thumbstick. Well, let's try one more time. Yeah. So there is a sort of skipping with the thumbstick on the aftermarket controller. And I don't think it's a drift issue. I don't think it's a drift issue at all. Because, just FYI, the official Xbox 360 controller does actually have a slight drift issue with the left thumbstick, but that's movement. That's not the aiming. I'm still on the third-party aftermarket controller, by the way. Okay. You know, that seemed to work. I mean, so obviously it is okay. It's not unplayable with this third-party controller. I will acknowledge that. It's just I'm noticing it's not perfectly precise. Yeah. Definitely I'm going to play this game with the official 360 controller. Okay, so obviously there is a slight issue with the aim thumbstick or the right thumbstick on the aftermarket controller that I did not notice with the official 360 controller. Now, how big of an issue is this? Well, I would say basically this controller, let's say if this was 100% working perfectly fine, that this thumbstick, the thumbstick was working at 70%. So, I mean, it's still serviceable if you're not doing first-person shooters, which requires that extreme precision. Then I would say you're still perfectly fine getting this controller. But if you're really going in for first-person shooters on the Xbox 360, I don't know. This may be a software bug. It could just be that my thumbstick is not perfect. It's an issue I found comparing these two. So keep in mind that the Voyee is still I think only $25, which is pretty good, and you won't get stick drift with those. But comparing this thumbstick with this thumbstick, it could be a software issue, but I'm liking the right thumbstick on the Xbox 360 far better than on this one. So definitely you want to keep that in mind. I know that the Voyee review has been one of my more popular reviews, and so definitely you want to keep that in mind. I don't think that this is a completely throwaway aspect, especially if you're doing hack and slash that doesn't require extreme precision. This is going to be perfectly fine for you, the Voyee is. But if you need extreme precision on first-person shooters, as of right now, until I get more information about this, you're going to want to look for an official Xbox 360 controller or a different aftermarket controller. So just keep that all in mind. So hopefully this helped you guys. I hope that this answered some of your questions. I hope that you can make a good choice between the two. Again, if you're not going for first-person shooters, this should still work fine for you. If you are going for first-person shooters, try and find a decent Xbox 360 official controller, or if you can find another third-party controller that's good for first-person shooters, then go with that. I think I have heard that someone's trying to make an Xbox One controller work on a 360. That'd be cool if they did that. But anyway, so that's been my comparison of the Xbox 360 controller with the Voyee 360 controller. What do you guys think? Do you have any more questions about these controllers that I could look into? Let me know in the comments down below. My name's Chris Ricardo with 11 Hour Reviews, and that will be all for today.